down the couch. First and foremost, I'm Herman Senor II, owner of Good Enough 2. Put Good Enough 2 sports together for the athletes and the trainers so we can come together and make things happen for the community. But let's see who else is here.
I'm Nick Hurd, personal trainer and basketball skills trainer, and I'm here with the brand.
I'm Dwight Bolden II. I am a brand owner and coach at Grant Middle School, 8th grade head coach at Grant Middle School.
Hey, I'm Malik Perry. I'm a trainer with Good Enough 2 Sport. I'm also the brand director for Good Enough 2 as well.
How long have y'all been doing those roles?
Well, with the basketball skills trainer, 10 plus years. I say like probably between 10 to 15 years, give or take. But the actual personal training, I've been doing that for about 2 or 3 years now. And, I've recently like blended the two together, you know what I mean? So it's a pretty good combination for me.
For sure.
Yeah.
I've been at Grant for the last 3 years and then coaching for the last 7. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've been coaching and training for the last 6 years. I've been with Good Enough for the last year and doing like video editing and everything I do. I've been doing that since like last 8, 9 years.
But
Yeah.
yeah. What makes y'all so attracted to sports? Because that's where we connect, right? Our sports. We're not gonna ask, like I said, we're not gonna ask too many questions on this. We just want to make it flow. But let's start off with that. Why sports? Like I know for me, I've seen my parents and my sisters and everything. But what about you guys? Whoever want to go, yeah.
Same here. Parents, just being in the school. I mean, me and you, we hooped our whole lives together. So I mean,
Man,
just
since Southeast ball boys.
man, ball boys out there on the court making. I think it was Coach Monteith mad every
Yep.
practice. You know what I'm saying? Just the culture of basketball and sports in general. Just why I stuck with it.
Me personally, I don't know. I just found a natural love for sports. It's so many aspects of sports aspects that brings out different things in a person that's through sports. You know what I
Right.
mean? And just through the years, I guess my level of love for sports has changed as my outlook has changed. So like at first it came about being fun and camaraderie, which is still the case. But now as a skills trainer and personal trainer, it goes deeper than that. You know what I mean? On a more personal level. You know what I mean? Just as far as like how the body works, even like helping people enjoy their sport more by helping them improve.
Yep.
I've learned that. So that's very huge for me.
For sure.
Yeah, I got introduced because I say parents too. My dad was an athlete. He used to have us in the yard practicing basketball, throwing the football around, things like that. And I also had an older brother, so like starting from a little kid, I was always like trying to catch up with him, like playing him 1-on-1 and everything. I mean, like man, I'm trying to beat my older brother and stuff. So, but I say sports just because like it's taken me places where I wouldn't have thought I'd get to go. I've met people. I made some of the best connections. Like all my closest friends is probably I probably play basketball with at some point, whether it's on a team or pickup or something. And it's just done a lot. It's opened my eyes to a lot of experiences, taught me a lot of lessons. So yeah, I say that's why I do 'em.
No, for sure. I would definitely say that a lot of the connections that I have right now, or like the people that I'm close to now, have definitely been attracted to me, or I was attracted to them through sports. Because, like you said, you get to show who you are, you get to show your character through that, and you kind of build trust. Like I don't know, y'all seen that TikTok where it's like you can tell a lot about a man by the way he play open gym.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's for sure. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You come in the open gym, why do you finna be
It's
Full
go-to.
court.
pick it up full court at the open gym? That's us, though.
Right.
You know.
Facts.
But a lot of people aren't like that. Like I got to college, and that was one thing that was surprising to me is a lot of guys, be like, hey, let's run open gym. A lot of them be like, man, I'm finna go back to the dorm.
Facts.
Like what, bro?
Hop
We
on the
here to
game.
hoop. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's
Craziness.
just you get to see what people are really like when it comes to sports and how you do anything, how you do everything. And some people, they lazy, so you can kind of tell,
Yeah.
like, oh, that's not
Yeah.
somebody I could trust outside of sports or whatever.
Facts.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's how it is.
It can bring out some of the most honest emotion in a person in sports. You know what I mean? So that can be like a positive and a negative, but it can like the positive side is that you can really see, how passionate they are about it, and sports brings it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they like my closest group of friends in college. We used to be. I mean, just like you were saying, we'd be like, man, let's get in the gym. We used to be in the gyms like two in the morning, 1 in the morning. And, you know, as a freshman at HBCU, curfew be like 12. And like on the weekend, it's like 2. Man, we used to be in the gym, hooping till 1 a.m. We'll walk to this little restaurant store called Express on the corner down the street. It's like the little hood restaurant. We used to go there at 1 a.m., get some food, walk back after being in the gym all night. Like, and that's my closest friends now because we used to be in the gym all the time.
Yeah.
For sure.
But low key, one of the funniest things I remember hearing was someone was like, "You can't act tough when you used to be in the full court pressure. You'll be panicking."
Yeah.
Like you were saying, they bring out the realest emotions in you. Like
Yeah.
you tell a lot about how someone play their sports. So
No, that's a fact.
yeah,
I mean, what you do in sports, like, it can limit you, but it can also open more opportunities for you. A lot of people that are in positions to give you jobs and stuff like that, they love coming after athletes because they know they had to get up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. and go to practice, go to training, go to study hall, go to film, go to community
You're
service.
of a
Like,
certain culture.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they know you can fit into a culture. Like, I know sometimes we talk bad about the transfer portal, but if you can fit at 3 different schools, then this obviously means something good about you.
Yeah.
You know, really. If yeah, you might have jumped and left, but if you can fit at all those schools and you got playing time, that means you're doing something good. You're doing something right. People want you a part of their place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valuable.
You got anything?
No, I was just saying you're valuable.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
a
and
valuable asset.
That's
Yeah.
all you learn about, like, in like business school and stuff. How can you be valuable?
And it shows that you're willing to compete, and it ain't just about sports. You know what I mean? That's what sports shows, that you're willing to compete. You know what I mean? To be competitive about anything. You know, and that's a good sign too. You know, that you're not just gonna lay down because you play sports. You're an athlete. You competed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that is what I was gonna say too. There's not too many places in life where you can just
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean, go crazy. Ain't too many places you can full body flex.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you got to be in a sport role to do that, and I think that's why God helped us create it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were able to enjoy it. But I kind of want to start here. Right? Here's a stat. According to good people on the internet, basketball is valued at $37.5 billion. All right, the global market for training, development, just everything. So with that, not really a question, but kind of question, like, let's talk about how we fit into that. Like, that's a lot of money, you know what I mean? And we're just here in Springfield with, 120,000 people, maybe 150 if we talk in surrounding areas, but like, that's a big number, and we're in a small area. How do we get more of that, capture more of that market? How do we expose our athletes to opportunities outside of our market and stuff? And like, let's talk about some of the things that we're doing already. And obviously, Shields' sports complex is going to help a little bit with the tournaments. But what are we doing, or how can we, kind of expose that market a little bit?
well, I feel like with that stat, it's like kind of levels to it because the majority of that market, like you said, is what 37.5 billion. Like probably at least a couple billion of this probably. We talking about NBA and EuroLeague and then college basketball with NIL and stuff. Like that's probably like half of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, and you talking about those TV deals and stuff. So like the top half, it's a difference between the top 0.5% of all the pros and like people who's like known, and then like people on like our level who we're dealing with, like kids who still trying to make a name for themselves and get better every day. So I feel like people need to make sure they understand like you're not automatically gonna be in that top bracket. You know what I'm saying? Getting your Nike deal off the rip, like you still have to work your way up through the levels.
Yeah.
It still takes time. Like we do a lot of training with kids, not only like just skills training, but like light training and trying to, introduce them to navigate the new world with NIL and like where they actually stand when it comes to college recruiting and what coaches want in the high school level and AAU level and stuff. So I feel like kids need to make sure they understand the level that they're at, and parents need to understand the level that their children are at, so like they know like what they're looking for and what they need to do to get to the next level, and that they know like as in what they're looking for, they know how to protect themselves from people who's getting over because they want to get to that $1 million level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I mean, like you said, there's there's different ways to expand your capture more market potential and like try to get more revenue or whatever you want to say. But like you said, we do it in a way where we network with each other. So it's like it's not like you coming to me for training and strength and conditioning and NIL and all this. But we network together so that way you can see, this. I can go to this person for this, go to this person for this, and like kind of that. I think that's how it expands for sure. Like Dwight, you're in a good position with the eighth graders. Like, how do you think you can use that $37.5 billion number to show them that, yeah, you can get that from going to the NBA, but you can also get that from doing what we're doing, making merchandise, doing videos, and doing stuff like that.
Um, it's so hard to even jump into where to start with like the whole $1 billion market. You know what I'm saying? Because first off, there's just so many facets of the market. There's, like you said, the NIL, the NBA, the WNBA. Then there's training, and then there's more of like your community-based programs, which are like schools, high schools, middle schools, preschools.
Yep. Like all the clubs.
Clubs,
Overseas.
Overseas, but then there's like Biddy Ball, YMCA
Yeah.
Ball, YMCA League, even down to those aspects of how there's money available to be made. Is all about, down to trainers, down to, specific types of trainers. But being able to show them like the different aspects of sports that you can go and be happy, but also make a living from.
Yeah.
Showing them that, with the skills that you're learning now, even if you don't get to the NBA, the things that you have learned can still benefit somebody down the line or a group of people down the line.
Exactly.
And influence them in a positive way.
Yeah, 100%. Kind of like how we're doing now, for real. Like, you got to have conversations about all the opportunities, avenues that you can have, or else you won't really be exposed to them.
Right.
Right.
Network building is for sure the biggest part of this. I feel that's for everything, in my own opinion. If you network build, you make friends across the line, let it be these people are owners of businesses or people who work at businesses.
Yeah. How do we help those athletes? Kind of like what asked Dwight, but for the other guys, like how do we help these athletes understand that, you can go to the NBA, and if you go to the NBA, it's going to be this hard. Or you can go to the NFL or MLB, but it's going to be really, really hard, and this is what you're up against. Like, how do we expose them to that type of, it's not really pressure, but opportunity and like demands. How do we expose them to those demands?
I think something like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Nick.
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
Something like how we did with the Cox Park and the Springfield Park District. That was a stepping stone. If we can get more people together, more of the community together, and put them in controlled chaos environments, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where we're doing something like, I don't want to say combine because it makes it seem like we're picking, but in a situation to where they can be competitive and be seen and put on a platform in a positive way.
Yeah, like showcase.
Showcase, yes.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to also is just communication, like things like this. You know what I mean? Being transparent and just letting them know, on a consistent basis through different events. You know what I mean? And like showcases, just communication, like we did at that event we did. It's just letting them know little nuances of the game, that if you want to go this far, this is what you have to do. This is what is looked for. These are non-negotiables, stuff like that. And on a consistent basis, no matter what the age is, you know what I mean? Because you can't be like, oh, they're this young, they're not going to understand that. You don't know that, you know what I mean? But just constantly letting them know, like, if you want to get this far, this is what it takes. If you want to get this far, this is what it takes. And just keep breaking that down to them and letting them know, like, we're here for you. We want you to succeed. And also making it where you want to be a part of something. You want to be a part of something great, and familiarity, always, being around, doing these, different events and showcases and showing your face and letting them know that, we're there. We're always gonna be there. You know what I mean? If you got any questions, you know what I mean. Even if you don't got questions, I got some answers for you. No matter
Yeah.
what you might have been thinking this, I'm going to let you know that anyway. This is how this is how it's supposed to be, and this is that next level. And I think just constantly doing that kind of makes it easier for the athlete to it'll get in them whether or not they want to ask the question or whatever or not. You just constantly letting them know. And I think this is something like this is really good. Breaking down to them like that 37.5. You know what I mean? Kids, a lot of kids don't know that, but by letting them know that, you know what I mean? It's an education at an early age or whatever stage that they're at to let them know that this is real. You know what I mean? And the more you let them know it's real, to me it kind of takes the pressure off, but you can kind of work backwards. Like, you want to go pro? Okay, these are the steps. Let's go ahead and work backwards. We know that now. You want to go
Right.
pro. You know what I mean? Let's work on that now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just stuff like that.
This is what a pro looks like. This is where you're at. How can you get to there? And here's the levels that's gonna you gotta
Yeah.
pass through to get there.
Yep.
Here's all the knowledge, all the tools that you need to kind of understand or use, put under your
Right.
belt.
You're kind of demystifying it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't take the.
Make it
doesn't
real.
Make it real. It doesn't take away the fact of how hard it is.
Yeah,
But
for
this is
sure.
what it takes. There's no questions. You're letting them know like this is what it takes. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I mean, you guys know I played overseas, and like it wasn't even like the highest level or anything, but the kids definitely, especially overseas, they definitely think like you NBA ready.
Yeah,
Like they see
yeah.
you hit 2, 3, 4 shots in a row, they be like, bro, who are you? Like,
Right.
nah, I'm just and I always try to tell kids if I feel like I'm this good and I don't even get to sniff or get a crack at that, just think about how good you really have to be.
Yeah.
And that goes for all sports, really, but really just like it's like you said, you don't want to make it like seem like something that's out of reach, but you got to make sure they know that is levels to how hard you got to work, and
Yeah.
the work they got to do all the research and find all the right people that are going to help them get there.
Yep.
And that kind of leads me into, we all kind of have our roles in training and getting people to the next level and recruiting and scouting. Like, are there any things like we got a lot of tools right now? You got Huddle, you got VO, you got social media. Like, there's so many ways to get seen right now. Like showcases, Chris Paul showcase. Like, there's so many things to do. But like, with all that, how can we get people to focus? Like, what is the one thing they need to do? I kind of got my answer on like how people can really get noticed, because like as a D2 coach, when I was at UIS, I'm getting hundreds, thousands of emails a day. I can't open all of them, right? So how do these kids get noticed?
I mean, when I was in college and I was at Aurora University, and I was transferring. I was trying to figure out where I was wanting to go to school, and I was trying to play basketball there. I ended up running track at Western instead of doing basketball. The process I went about was checking out the team first off, looking at them on YouTube, seeing the style that they played, see if I matched that coach's play style, then seeing if who they have coming and who they got leaving, because it's all online, it's all available. Next is just being a pest, emailing and then calling almost every single day until I get on the phone with somebody, and then coming out to open gyms, taking a chance, going out there trying to meet people, show a face so that they recognize me. And it's not like, hey, I'm a new person, you should pick me up. It's, okay, this is Dwight. He's been calling me since April. It's August now, and he's still here. He said he has all good grades. He transferred over with some good grades. He's talked to his mom. He's come to open gyms. We've seen what he plays like. He matches well with the players, but he's not a good fit for our program right now. So, and that's the tough reality of things sometimes, and that doesn't mean to quit, but taking the time to go and see, like, is this the right fit for me, and am I wanted here?
Yeah.
Is a big part of it.
No, that's a big thing. Like I canceled Tuesday sessions last week and invited everybody out to watch UIS, and a few of the kids showed up, and the 2 kids that showed up, I think they got the college ready mentality already. So shout out CJ, shout out Shelby. But yeah, you got to see it, right? If you don't see the level you want to play at, then how do you know you can fit in that level? If you ain't never seen it, you just like, oh, I'm gonna go D1. You ain't never been to a D1 practice. You never
Right.
watched a D1 game. You only, besides on TV or something. Like you ain't never talked to a D1 coach, like you saying. You ain't had no back and forth, and you have any feedback from a high level coach telling you, hey, I like your game, but you should get better at X, Y, and Z, right?
Yeah.
But still, kids are gonna hear all that and still want to make it there. So it's like, but still, how do we help them realize what level they can get to?
I feel like, well, one as a player, like at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is like you gotta play people at that level to determine if you're ready for that level. Like you can't duck smoke. Like you gotta like go
Gotta get
play
cooked a
it, you
few
know what I'm
times.
saying? Like I feel like everybody had that moment where you play something you like, yeah, I ain't on that level yet, so I gotta keep working. Or I am on this level, so I'm gonna keep working so I can like make sure I'm here or get
Yeah.
higher than this level. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta one make sure you like actually hooping every day, whether you like the old school rule is, you know what I'm saying, you might be the best on your block, but it's always someone colder on the next block. Like you
Yeah.
gotta be the best in your neighborhood and then try to be the best in your area. Then you know what I'm saying, work to be the best. Like you may not reach there. I wasn't the best person I wasn't the best player out of Chicago. I wasn't the best player out the suburbs. But like you gon' if you working and you playing against some people who is, then like that's a lot of times how you get found. Like if you gonna be honest talking to most coaches in whether it's AAU or high school, when they going into somewhere, they already know who they're looking for.
For sure.
Like they're not just going. Most not just going to be like, okay, I'm gonna see if I see somebody. Like they know exactly who they're looking for. Most of the times you're found by a coach, it's because you're playing with someone they're looking for at or against someone they're looking at, and they like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? It's like staying ready so you don't have to get ready, making sure you always working and your work will show on the court, and we actually like playing people on that level, and that's when coaches look at that. But also you have to be able to take criticism and don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, you big headed before you earned anything. Like I feel like a lot of players feel like they too good to listen or they too good to have to run after the ball when they miss a shot or they just too good to like listen to this and that because they're like, oh, I got it like that. Because they cold and they on their team or they like they conference for their school or something, but they ain't really been exposed to no real dogs yet. Like
For sure.
you can't just be chilling like you too good to listen, like when especially with people who've been there before. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a lot of it is going back to what y'all were saying about being real with people, but also like you have to go out and play. Like you're not gonna get discovered if you stand in your city.
And I'm gonna double down on
You
that
know what
too.
I'm saying?
Like when I was looking for different colleges to go to, I think it was the summer after my sophomore year, and I moved up to the Chicago area. I was in between my friend Charles' house, or his mom's house, and my homie who had an apartment downtown. So I was just going back and forth longboarding, and there are open gyms during the summer. So I'll ride the train to the city, hop on the next train to DePaul, be at a DePaul open gym in the morning, ride my longboard down to Chicago State, be at Chicago State open gym that afternoon. Stay downtown for a night or something, and repeat the process throughout the week at the different schools, the UIC, and then I'll go to like
Loyola.
Loyola. Yeah, I go out to Loyola and get some runs in at their open gyms and just try and talk to their coaches. But most importantly, I'm out there trying to go like their best players.
Right, right.
Like Billy, what was his name? Billy Garrett at
Yeah,
DePaul.
Billy Garrett at DePaul, yeah.
You see him on TV, but then you see him in person. It's like, okay, I understand why he, it's
Right,
not
like that, yeah.
It's not an easy task to guard somebody like him. He not even like the coldest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he a lot of people feel like he's mediocre. But you try and face 6'5" point guard, 190
Yeah.
with all the moves. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different when you see it in person. It's different when you play 6'8".
Yeah, for
Point
sure.
guard.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that limits Springfield. We got a lot of 6'2" centers. A lot of 6'2" centers. A lot of our lineups be like 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot,
Yeah.
then 6'2", and it's like that's not real basketball. These boys is aliens out here,
Yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
7 foot.
Real
Yeah.
win
Well,
beast.
I feel like a lot of it is also like not even on the players. A lot of this conversation has to be held with the coaches too. Like
Yeah.
I see a lot of, especially in high school, like I think a lot of coaches are so focused. They're like, I gotta win my conference,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta be cold in my conference. You like, and in reality, you're in a 8 to 10 school conference in the middle of Central Illinois in 1A. Nobody's coming to see y'all unless you already got someone who's an AAU averaging 30 in AAU with
Cooking.
Mean Streets or something cooking,
Yeah.
and then they
Because
gonna
these
come
coaches
see
worry
you.
about their games that
Yeah.
they got to play. Like you said, they got to play Illinois next game. They got to play Minnesota.
Fact. So
Yeah.
if you really want, like, if you really want your kids to be seen, you have to like go seek the smoke as a coach. Like you
Yeah.
can't sit in your conference in a small town where the tallest person on the team is 6'2",
Yeah.
6'1". Like you have to go. I mean, you may have to go to like a Champaign or Peoria or up to Chicago
St.
or
Louis.
St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to
Indy.
go. Yeah, you have to go.
Pekin
You have to
tournament.
go play. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to go play them teams or get in a tournament where you're gonna play some teams with like some people who's like that, so your players can see like, okay,
Yeah. And
this is where I gotta get to.
yeah, and I think like 1450 they used to have the shootout where we had the Chicago teams come down. That was great. I know now it's the CSA shootout.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I liked when we had I got the
'Cause that's where I got to play Tyler Eulis.
exactly. I played Sam Thompson, play few people, Hope High School, play Jeremy Richmond.
Oh, yeah, Joaquin.
You know what I mean? You get to play a lot of people in those shootouts, and if your coach isn't scheduling those games or your conference isn't scheduling those games, and you're in AAU, you're only playing in like the silver or the bronze or something, you might not get that exposure to the best talent.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you gotta seek that out. You gotta go to elite camps on campus. You gotta go to all the prep showcases or whatever.
Yeah, put yourself
I
out
went
there.
to I went to a lot of I didn't do the prep showcase, but I went to a lot of like school camps, whether and luckily we were fortunate enough, like my dad was able to pay for a couple of them. Like
Yeah.
some you get invited to, some you may have to pay for.
For
It
sure.
just depends. But like a lot of I went to like maybe like 3 or 4 of them. And like it shows you where you at, and like you know what I'm saying, it shows you like, because those camps, it's a mix of the kids who just there who's like not cold, and then it's
Right.
the ones who's like, you know what I'm saying, you see their progression to be cold, and it's the ones who's already like that.
Already got
Yeah.
And like
offers.
yeah, and like and a lot of people at them camps, like whether it's D3, D2 camps, some of them are like higher than that level. They just going just because they got invited for free and they just want some runs.
Yep. The
know
coach
what I'm saying?
the coach just
Yeah.
asked them to come play.
So this it's
One of the
it's a lot
coaches
that.
is a trainer.
Facts. So they one of the coaches, like a lot of like D3 schools, the assistant coach would be like a EYBL coach or something.
Yep.
So like they get a lot of their players be like, just pull up to the camp so we can hoop. Like it's a lot of that. So like you gotta go look for a smoke, and then you gotta also like be willing to accept criticism from the coach. Like I've had coaches tell me like, you need to work on this, you need to work on that, and then I get in the gym, and then when they'll see my tape from AAU or something, they're like, okay, I see you was working on that. Or I come to another camp where they invite me to another one, and they'll see me playing, or they'll catch me at a tournament, and they're like, okay, I see you was working on that. Like you know what I'm saying? So you gotta like really like look for the smoke and like put yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, that's definitely one thing. Us as trainers, we always, every time they come in, we like, hey, did y'all work on this, or is this the first time you doing it again since the
Yeah.
last time I
'Cause
saw
you
you?
can tell.
Yeah,
You
100%. We got eyes.
Yeah.
I said, did you have anything about recruiting before I move on?
I mean, only thing I was gonna say is that when it comes to recruiting, like what we do collectively, like I said before, like on a consistent basis, like communicating and letting the kids know what to expect and even how to approach the game and just how to be as a player. It goes a long way, because all the little things kind of add up to what what coaches look for in recruiting. You know what I mean? And the earlier that can be conveyed, and the earlier a kid can understand that, the easier it becomes. You know what I mean? It won't be a hill that they got to climb because they're behind. They've already known this, and they're just working on it, and it becomes second nature. You know what I mean? And I think that's where we come in. You know what I mean? It's just to keep letting them know, because like the skills training is one thing, personal training is another thing, but it's that plus the intangibles
Right.
that make a kid complete and make somebody want to recruit them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, when you get right down to it, when it comes to players you're looking at, everybody can hoop. What makes them stand? What makes a player stand out? You know what I mean? It could be their character. A lot of it is their character.
Yeah, I was just thinking like, a lot of the posts I've been seeing lately on social media is like when you come off the court, when you make a turnover, when your teammate makes a bad pass, how are you reacting to that? When you walk into the gym with your parents or something, are you dapping your dad up, you hugging your mom, before you get off, or your mom carrying your bag for you? Like
Right.
what's going on? What's that interaction like? Because Coach Brock at UIS and all the coaches really like they usually invite you to their house when you're at college, right? So they don't want no knuckleheads. They don't want
Right.
no hoodlums that are, or even just like childish, just people just
Yeah.
knocking over stuff or possibly stealing stuff from a value home. Like they don't want those type of people in their home. So like they want to trust you before you get on campus, and how you interact at the AAU tournaments, how you interact at your high school practice when they come to see you. Like that's a big one. If they come and watch you in practice or something like that, they really want you. So they're watching all those little mannerisms. Are you leading the huddle? You talking, or are you just kind of falling back, letting somebody else take the lead? So
Yeah.
like I said, the intangibles. Are you coachable? Are you willing to grow and try new things?
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with when you can do all that stuff at a young age. I think it's also a sign that you believe in yourself and you believe in whatever future that you want in basketball. You know what I mean? Like you're actually moving in a way that it's like you believe that you're going to get there. You know what I mean? If you just thinking I hope and all that, well, you're going to move like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you could see it, you're gonna be laser sharp, you know what I mean? And I think that's what we can do is like really help and expose kids to letting them know like this is how it is, you know what I mean? And like I said, the more they hear about it, the more it'll become second nature for them to know like, yeah, it is how it is, you know?
No, for sure. We definitely got to help them sharpen their vision. I think that's where our business mindset comes from, or comes in to help them. Is like we can't start a business without having a vision for what the product or service is anyway. So it's the same thing with y'all. You guys are the product, right?
Yeah.
So how can you market yourself, or how can you get yourself really better to be the best version of yourself? I wanted to touch on something before we broke out of here, but what are some things that aren't so pretty about what we do? What are some things that that could be better about the training and the marketing and the stuff? Like for me, for example, one thing I come across is like there's only so many hours in the day. I can't train everybody's kid all day, every day. I have a wife, I got nieces, nephews. Like I want to have my family of my own. I want to travel. I want to do all this stuff. I even want to play more than I'm playing right now. You know what I mean? I haven't hosted an open gym in a long time, right? And it's all because of just demand. And I think sometimes when I put a blueprint out there and I offer like certain PDFs, like this is how you can train and help your kid train on your own. I feel like sometimes parents and kids are reluctant to just try to train on their own. Like this is a trainer that, you know what I mean? We're getting paid to do this, but I'm saying like, you can do this on your own.
You're not going to get better. A lot of people don't understand you're not going to get better here with just the trainer.
Yeah.
You're not going to get better just in practice. Matter of fact, that's borderline. Like that's borderline maintenance.
That's just entry level.
That's entry level maintenance right there. It's practice and going to trainers.
Yeah.
Like the way you get better is spending them times by yourself or with your parent getting shots up. Like I remember when I was at Aurora and I was trying to get better at ball handling because I'm from Springfield and I'm a big man. I'm a 4'5", but I'm in college now, so I got to be able to dribble. I lived off campus about a mile and a half. Got me a basketball, put my backpack on, put my stuff in my backpack, and I dribbled all the way to campus every single day for a month.
Handles increase exponentially.
Right there. Even if it's just me dribbling with my left hand all the way to campus the whole time. I might freestyle, do a few dribble moves here and there, but like, didn't nobody tell me to go do that.
Yeah.
Right. Mama didn't tell me to go do that. I thought about, how can I get better? I can't get in the gym every day because there's stuff going on. How can I get better every day?
Yeah. I'll say, I remember, in college, me, you, and Micah, we was playing 32 all the time.
32 for hour.
Bro, and me as a point guard, that's me getting trapped the whole time.
The whole time.
That was great to me. You know what I'm saying? I got exponentially better because I'm getting double teamed every play, and I have to make the shot. And if I win, y'all mad, and then I'm not gonna try to let me win again. So but nobody told us to play 32.
Yeah.
Nobody said we could go in the gym. We just go in that one and just do it, So, what are some things like What y'all thinking?
I just piggybacking off of that, and I feel like you can attest this a lot, and y'all probably can too. Like, I go back to when I said like a lot of players feel like they don't gotta listen like that.
100%.
Like, a lot of players, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like it's like a human thing too. Like, they listen to respond, not to like actually hear. Like, I feel like a lot of people just in general do that. Like, a lot of us probably do that sometimes when we talk to somebody, but you can tell a player like. For example, some of our high school players, I'm thinking of one specifically. He was like, I remember we was telling him he needs to make sure he's like lifting more and getting stronger in the gym. He was like, yeah, we had a team lift today. I lifted. I was like, bro, I was telling him, man, you gotta go home and like, cause I ain't had no weight room at home when I was a kid.
Right.
But like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, when I was like in 8th grade and growing up, I was like a chubby kid. I got made fun of for being chubby.
Yeah.
Like, coaches would tell me like, you too slow. You too big, like you're not tall enough to be big, but you
You couldn't
too
tell
slow
me
to
that
be a
right
guard.
now.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had like
Quick.
skills and stuff, yeah. But like exactly, because I used to like every day, I did 400 push-ups a day. I ran a mile every day, and like you know what I'm saying, I would do like a 1,000 jump ropes a day. And I went from not being able to touch the rim, I could grab the rim with 2 hands. I could run a 6-minute mile. You know what I'm saying? I started slimming down. I started chiseling up and stuff. And you know what I'm saying? I hit my little growth spurt. By the time I like hit a senior year. You know what I'm saying? I grew like 6'2", and I was in shape, and I look like a hooper now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to keep working. It's not like just because you
It ain't
say,
overnight.
Yeah, like everybody, like the thing is, everybody is, when you go into your team lift, everybody doing team lift in high school. It's mandatory. Conditioning before the season, everybody's doing the mile and doing the mountain climbers.
Ladders.
And all that stuff, doing everything the coach has you do and then going to hoop. But like, who's really, like, you got to go home and like work. You can't just think just because you doing it in school and because you got your weightlifting class. Like, bro, everybody do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to do extra work. You can't just come to be like, yeah, I come train with Herman and Malik 3-4 times a week or the group session and individuals and, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why you're not playing. Like, you can't just do that. You got to come home and be like, okay, I'm finna get my right hand dribble, left hand dribble. I'm going to work on my shifting, work on my moves and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't have to keep. I think it's frustrating. Every time you see somebody, you gotta keep reiterating the same thing. Like, bro, we've been
100%.
talking about this. We've been on this for the past month.
And I gave you paperwork that says do this.
Yeah, we gave you paperwork. We analyzed you. We gave you
scorecards.
Yeah, you gave you a scorecard. Like, it's only so much we can do for y'all. Like, I didn't play pro, but I had an opportunity to get recruited to college, and I played a year in college. Herman played pro, he played pro. Like, we've been to where y'all want to be. We've seen the other side. We've seen what it looks like to be in a college practice. We've seen what it looks like to be in front of a game. You stand in the corner and it's a group of people talking stuff to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been there. We've been at the free throw line. People, the other team, away game, away crowd chanting your name.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Herman, Mr. Malik. Like, we've been there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we trying to get y'all there, but you can't just keep not, like, just coming to the training and not actually working out at home. We shouldn't have to keep. Training is to give you tips to take home. Like, that little hour we have with you is not going to change the trajectory of your week. Like, you have to work on it every day at home. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of kids feel like their parents come to training, they'll pull up training and they'll be fine. And then even, like, a lot of them don't even be going hard in training. They be missing shot, jogging after the ball, dilly-dallying, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know it's the new school kids. Like, my trainer back in the day, I seen him punch people in the chest in workouts. And maybe it's because where I'm from. Maybe we was up in Chicago, so they don't play that. You know what I'm saying? They don't play
They got
that.
the security cameras on me. I can't do
Ours is
it.
extreme here. Don't get it wrong.
That's it,
Y'all different type of extreme, but trust me.
But we know Springfield. Even like if you know Illinois hoops, you know Springfield hoops city too. So
Yeah,
I imagine y'all is too. Like,
Trust me. Pyramids to 200.
Yeah. Like, you feel me? Like, our trainer had like he wasn't like abusive, but like he had permission to put hands on us. Like, if you're not locking in, he finna grab you like, man, lock in. You know what I'm saying? I seen him older guys. I seen him like rock somebody in the chest, like, bro, keep doing the same thing and see what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know it's a different generation. We not moving like that, but still,
they gotta feel what you're trying to give them.
It's like they don't feel it. I don't know what they have to do to feel it. I just feel like you just gotta want it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids, I think they don't really have the want it, and I feel like when you someone who has the want it, and then you're training them, and you can see it in them, and you like, I want you to want it, but I can't want it for you.
Right.
And I feel like that'd be frustrating because you be trying to get through to them, and they just be like,
That's the hard part about coaching. You know, right now for me is okay. You got the kids who want it, and you can see it, and then you got the ones who don't. It's building that culture, I guess, for me of good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
I guess it's the simplest way to put it is good sportsmanship, but not just hey, good game, all that good. Like no, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to work with my team. We're going to work towards something as a group and as a unit, but I'm also going to improve upon myself as an individual.
Like
and
being a leader, really.
being a leader, you know, not just even if I am not the best player on the team, I can still benefit and be a positive person in somebody else's life, like, and take the messages I'm learning from my coaches. Like you had just said, like, you tell somebody to do something and they keep doing the same thing over and over again. That just brought me back to Southeast, and this is like the main thing I remember from Southeast out of all the things Coach Thomas had said, you know, to do the same action and expect different results is insanity.
Yeah.
That's the definition.
Yep.
And I've taken that to this day.
Yeah, for sure.
This day, for real.
I think, and that's another thing. You just unlocked another thought. Like, I feel like also like sportsmanship, people think it's just like, oh, good game, everybody gets a
No, you gotta go hard.
participation. Yeah, like, bro,
participation
sportsmanship
trophy.
is like holding people accountable. If you're not
Yeah.
holding no one accountable, that's not sportsmanlike. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not your brother. But just because you saying good game and getting someone a high five, I don't mean you being a good sport. Like, if you in
Yeah.
someone's face, like, holding them accountable, like, bro, stop doing that lock in. We supposed to do it. That's being a good sport to me.
Yeah,
And I
like-
feel like a lot of them, they're not even accountable for themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they mess up and they be like, well,
Or talking negative to each other.
Yeah.
You know, not even talking negative to themselves, talking crazy to their friends.
Yeah,
like,
right,
these are your friends.
Y'all stay at his house.
Y'all are going over his house.
and I feel like it's a difference, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you know when it comes from love, like,
Yeah,
like,
right.
we all got our homies. Like, if you catch us in the open gym on the right day, we in each other's face talking stuff the whole time.
Me and Sos, for
Y'all
sure.
talk stuff. He get going. He starts talking to me. Now we going back and forth.
Yeah.
And everyone in the gym going back and forth. And it might look like you in an argument, but we walking out the gym laughing. 'Cause,
Right.
like,
Exactly.
it's just competitive. But, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a difference between doing that because we know what buttons to push because we got the level we know what to say to somebody to get them going to make everybody in the gym hoop, and you just talking crazy to someone just
Yeah.
because.
Just
Yeah.
makes you angry.
I want to let Nick go on this, but I definitely think you're saying, and what you both are saying is like, one, not only do you have to bring that competitiveness out of yourself, like when you go home, you don't have to always be pictured on social media doing your workout. Like there were so many times I was running stairs extra. My boy Trevor Trevor Minnie from Quincy will let y'all know, like running stairs or doing workouts in the room, like you said, push-ups, calf raises, stretches, going to the PT, going to get stretched out before. Like nobody told me to do those things. This is stuff I just like, you know, maybe God told me like you probably need to take this next step or whatever. But then there's that other level of if in college, that's a good thing. You got roommates and stuff like
Accountability.
You got accountability partners. We got text group chats. Like we text each other and we send each other videos and stuff like, hey, work on this in the gym, or oh, this is a good drill, or you know what I'm saying. So you gotta be accountable for yourself, but then also show that you're a leader and you care about other people.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I like that you said that because everybody doesn't have that. You know what I mean? Like you were fortunate enough to have that kind of that circle that made it. It didn't change the challenge of it, but it kind of made it fun. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you end up having fun, working hard and grinding to get where you wanted to go because you know you got like-minded people wanting to do the same thing and go you know to the same place, you know, with your future. But what I was gonna say is that like when it comes to the skills training, I think there's two things that are the most important. One is I think that a lot of times kids and this is something that to me has to constantly be reinforced, but it can end up being a frustration for a trainer because you're trying to a lot of times you're trying to move on to the next stage of something when it comes to training. Like you're trying to move on to something different, but you can't because if you're a good trainer, you feel like you're like there's some conviction to not move on to this till they get this.
Right.
So one thing is intensity.
Yeah.
How hard you go at a drill or how hard you go, you know, doing whatever you're gonna do. A lot of kids don't understand the intensity that a trainer wants them to do a certain drill at. And a lot of times I feel that comes from a kid not wanting to mess up
100%.
during the workout or during the drill. I mean, it happened one-on-one. Like, we ain't even talking about group training. That's like a whole nother level because you got a group watching you.
Yeah,
But what I'm
yeah.
just saying, like, like the intensity and the afraid to mess up. And I find that I find breakthroughs with kids, but I find a lot of times when I'm training a kid at the beginning, those are the two most important things. They don't understand how hard to go at a drill, and they're afraid to mess up. And I'll tell you one thing that I tell a kid, and it took me through the years of training to realize this, to get through a kid's psyche about it, is that I'll let them know when it comes to a certain drill, like I'll tell them, make or miss, I don't care, but this is how I want. This is how I want it. I want to see it like this. You know what I mean? Like, I won't put that pressure on you to that it looks good. I want it to be right and effective.
Right.
Otherwise, we can't move on. We got to get this. Otherwise, I'm sending you off as a trainer, and you're not going to be able to apply it in the game like it's supposed to be applied. Like, if you go through the whole training session and don't make a shot, you don't make a layup, but I see you going 110% the whole time, it's like, oh, the makes are gonna come.
Yeah, it's gonna translate.
You know what I mean? Like, that's everything, and that goes along with attitude, and just pointing that out and reinforcing that. And the more you reinforce something like that, the more that the intensity that might not be like natural for them, it becomes second nature, because now you know how hard you're supposed to go, and eventually that green light will come on. You know what I mean? Or that bulb, the bulb will come on for them when they're in the games or when they're playing. They'll be like, oh, this is this is how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? But I think those are my two biggest challenges. And I've trained so many different, and I'm sure you have so many different levels of players. You know what I mean? That need coordination work all the way up to
Right.
all the way up to professional. And it's just like, you know what I mean? It kind of doesn't change. You know what I mean? Every as far as where you start at, it changes, of course. But those two things are so important. You know what I mean? Like, when you're talking about, like training a professional player, it's just little things that you're not working on a whole lot and got to work on foundation. It's just a few things that you might have to tweak that you see that they can't see. You know what I mean? But the frustration can come in and just like, well, now I've shown you, I've told you, let's get to it just like this.
Yep.
I do not care about the mate. And you can go through that with beginner or pro. Like, it has nothing to do with, like, everybody want to make every shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a lot of times it has nothing to do with the made shot when you're training somebody. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the intensity, and it has to do with how you want it done. And sometimes how you getting it done ain't gonna be pretty. You know what I mean? So I think those are two things that I've found as a trainer that are, I'm not gonna say a frustration, but I would say, like, that's probably like one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I've found that through the years I've had more patience with that. You know.
Yeah, because when you get to that first college practice, and forget all the preseason stuff, when you get to that real practice and y'all do that 3-man weave and the ball touch the ground, or you do that full court layup, you miss a layup, and because most of the drills, like, it'll be like 2 minutes, you got to make 24 layups, and that means you only have room to miss one layup or no layup. So that means that's 24 makes in a row, and you miss one, and you on the line.
I used to cook.
Everybody mad at you.
I remember one time we used to do like 50 in a row layups. So I remember someone missed on 49.
Oh, nah. Y'all was on his head.
49. We went down 49, came back for 50. He missed. We said, bro, ain't no way.
Y'all was like, Coach, make
right
him run
there.
only.
Everybody run.
But so I just want to leave. I'm gonna leave my lasting thought and then see how that bounces off, resonates with y'all, or y'all can kind of think about thoughts that you kind of want to send people off with. But I want to say, like, we want people to have an abundance mindset, right? We're all spiritual, faith, God-fearing people, and I think that the abundance mindset teaches us that we get to do something, right? We're privileged to work hard. We're privileged to play in college, play in high school, to get training, right? And that's what we want our athletes to know, is like, your parents are putting you in a place where you get to get something. Like people that have come before us, like my dad and mom and sisters, my wife, they paved the way so I get to be who I am, right?
Yeah.
It's not a burden on me to open the gym and all that stuff. It's not a burden on me to make these worksheets or do the podcast or design merchandise or try to do personal development. I get to do these things because if I didn't do these things, then I'd be at a desk, punching, doing whatever I had to do to make ends meet from that end. But like, I have a different perspective on it. Like, I get to do these things, I'm privileged to be able to have access to gyms, have access to athletes that want to train. So that's kind of my lasting thought I want people to have is I want you to wake up every day and just be so excited because you get to do the things that you get to. Like, it's not a burden to wake up at 5:30. If you waking up at 5:30, that means you got something to do today.
Yeah.
Like, that means you blessed. Like, I always, when we bring people together, I'm like, you got 2 hands, 2 feet, and ain't nobody missing toes or nothing, right? Ain't nobody missing fingers. Like, you get to do these things, and there's a lot of people that really don't even have the opportunity. So, yeah, when you have that mindset, I know that more opportunities present themselves to you and you're able to get even more accomplished because you're already chasing what is really truly your identity and you're not trying to be something that you're not because you're already putting a positive spin on whatever that day is going to bring you. So let me know what y'all think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, also I agree, and I also want to piggyback a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's situation is different, so just because you may not have like the money to pay for a trainer every day, you may not have the money to buy your way onto the AAU team to pay for your AAU funds or to buy a gym membership or something. Don't let that discourage you. Like, you can still, you know what I'm saying? You still blessed to have the physical ability to move around and work. Like, you can still get that working on your own, whether you got to run around the block. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to run around the block to get my cardio in. I ain't never had like a weightlifting gym. My dad had bought a new ramp for the front yard. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never have a gym membership. I was just hooping in the front yard. You know what I'm saying? So whether you got to go to the park, you know what I'm saying, you dribbling in your basement. I know your mama probably not going to let you dribble in the house, but you might
Go
dribble
outside.
in the basement. Yeah, go outside on the porch, in the driveway. Like, Whitey, was dribbling to school every day. You know what I'm saying? You might walk to the store. Your mom might say, I need something from the store. You could dribble to the store. You might gotta be on the bus stop, dribble
Watching
while you wait on the
film.
bus. You know what I'm saying? Watch film, go on YouTube, look up drills. You know what I'm saying?
Social media got all kinds of drills.
Chat GPT.
Literally, like, you know what I'm saying? When we was coming up, we was in the Balls Life era. I used to watch Tyler Eulis and
Austin Rivers.
Yeah, Austin Rivers.
John Wall.
Facts. We used to watch them, Derrick Rose mixtapes. You know what I'm saying?
Trey
Gil
Jefferson.
Carr, Trey Jefferson, all them. You know what I'm saying? Trayvon Duval. Like, we used to watch them. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm finna do this move. I'll go outside and try to move. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Jamal Crawford.
facts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, don't let, just because you may not have a trainer per se, you know what I'm saying, you can still get that work in, and there's still someone that believes you no matter what. But just make sure you still working, because you know what I'm saying, if you're physically able, then you know what I'm saying, you're physically able. There's always somewhere you can get some work in. So you know what I'm saying, make sure you're working hard on your own. Don't get discouraged just because you're not being seen right now. Everybody got their time. I was late bloomer myself. I ain't get real looks, and you know what I'm saying, I have a story. I'm not gonna get into my basketball story,
Yeah.
but everybody got a story, man. Like, you're not gonna be in 8th grade, 9th grade getting recruited by Illinois State and Duke and all them. You know what I'm saying? So don't get discouraged just because you're a junior, you ain't got no looks yet. Your time will come. So make sure you're still working. Whether you in the gym, whether you at home. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're still working. Don't get discouraged. Keep your head up. But stay locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, from a coach's perspective, just live in the moment, be in the moment, whatever you're doing, just be there, you know. It's good to have aspirations for the future, but if you can't be in your current, there is no future for you.
And you're not even learning what you need to go through right now. Like, God got you in that moment because you need to go through that right now.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to learn how to go to your left before you shoot a 3.
Exactly. You might need to take a few losses.
Might need to take a
some
charge
touch
before-
situations. You know, you might need that L, that lesson, you know, to move forward. Or if you don't learn it, you're stuck in that circle, and that's insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and just to go go off of what everybody's saying, you know, living in abundance, and you were talking about, locking in no matter what your circumstance or your resources are. And I didn't think about this till you said that. And it's like whatever level a kid ends up at, you know what I mean, from coming up and playing and training and all that, and wherever they land, I would say that what we can do is convey to them, you know, this is the approach. This is how, you know, you need to approach, you know, certain things, and come with an enthusiasm and like an intensity about it. And you know, like you said, lock in, work as hard as you can. Because for one thing, that a person, no matter what wherever you land and end up at playing, no matter what level that your ceiling is, you don't want to look back and have a regret for not going as hard as you could, even on a daily basis, because there's a joy in that. You know what I mean? Like if you know you only went 75%,
Man.
you know what I mean? Like
You know that intrinsically.
you know that, you know what I mean? Win or lose, you know what I mean? Especially when you lose. But even when you win and you know that you didn't, like, you know what I mean, that you didn't, it can catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the fact of, like you said, like living in abundance, and I think what we can do, like I said before, especially on a consistent basis, is the exposure through communication.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the exposure through camps and showing them different things physically. That's hand in hand with communication. You know what I mean? Just showing them and exposing to them the different things that they can reach. But like I was saying, is that, like, you know, if you let them know, like, because, you know, it's a cliche, you know, go 100, you know, lock in, all those are cliches. But the one thing is that, like I was saying, is that you don't want to look back and regret, you know what I mean, that you didn't go 100.
100%.
You know what I mean? And that can take the joy out of the game. And then you go to blaming others when in reality it was just the fact that you just didn't go as hard as you were supposed to go. And you can't blame nobody but yourself. So I think that's like a really good thing, is that just go as hard as you can so you don't have a regret looking back on the game. Because somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. You ain't dropping 40 every night, but you can go 100. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to leave.
Yeah, how you do anything is how you do everything,
Yeah.
for sure. And like you said, you can't really control how many points you put up on the board or what the outcome of the game is. Like, you could try your best,
Yeah.
but you can always control how you respond to
Yep.
stuff, how you win with class, how you lose with class, how you hold others accountable, how you
Yeah.
hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How you break bread with your friends and family, all those are controllables. Your
Yeah.
faith, that's controllables. But
And like you said,
yeah.
like that's what, when you look back, people that look at you and look at your character and who you were, they're not gonna remember, you know what I mean, that you had 50, but they're gonna remember how you were as a person. And we talked about that. You know what I mean? They're gonna remember that.
They remember the energy you bring to
Exactly.
a situation.
They remember that they love watching you play. People
Yeah.
always come up and be like, I just love watching you play sports.
Yeah.
I know you're going to make something happen just because you ready, right? You work so hard, you ready. Like, and that's why we go so hard with what we do now as trainers, is because, like, I don't want to not be prepared for somebody that's trusting me to help them
Yep.
get to the
Yeah.
next level, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I didn't want to cut
Oh,
you off.
I was just one more thing, is that goes back to what you were saying about, like, how do you help kids with exposure and you know what I mean, getting noticed and all that. That's a real key thing about getting noticed, is the intangibles of it, not just about their performance, but how they performed, how they were, as you know, in that moment. You know what I mean, that people on the outside and recruiting and businesses, they'll see that, and they want that person or their kid to represent what they got going on.
100%.
You know?
Yeah. And I just think it's and I feel like I realized this too late. It's more so about the journey and like where you at.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like why you said about being present. I think a lot of times you can get caught up so much in like, man, I wish I was playing more, or I wish I got recruited better, or I wish, you know, I'm in college, I wish I was playing this, I wish I was doing this or that, or man, I should have went to this school, instead of realizing, like, you know what I'm saying, I put in all this work to get here, and like, you know what I'm saying, it's not always fun. Like, everything about working is not always fun. Like, getting up at 5 a.m. to run a mile with the stairs and then do wind sprints on the track isn't fun. You know what
Hurts a
I'm
lot
saying?
less than losing.
Hey, it feel good when you're on that rim, though.
Yeah. Like
I ain't gonna lie.
the background work ain't always gonna be fun. It's not always gonna be pretty. You're gonna be a lot of times you're gonna get through a workout, you're gonna be on your hands and knees because you can't barely stand up.
For sure.
You feel like you're gonna throw up, you can't breathe. But like when it's the work gonna pay off, and like when you in that moment, like why you were saying about being in the moment, like when you in that moment, you gonna feel it. You know what I'm saying? But don't be so focused on like, dang, I should have been this, or I gotta get to what's next and
Shoulda,
what's
coulda,
next.
woulda.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't
Shoulda,
never
coulda,
did
woulda.
nothing.
Instead of thinking about like, it's not that many people who's really going through like to get to that level. You know what I'm saying? Like when I went to college, I thought I was a failure because I wasn't playing how I wanted to.
3% of high
You know what I'm
schoolers,
saying?
yeah, 3%
And
of high schoolers.
I remember my dad called me. He was like, "Yeah, my friends with kids younger than me are calling me, asking me for advice because you in college playing."
Exactly.
And that put it in perspective. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? My homies at the crib didn't care if I wasn't like playing that much. They're like, bro, you signed to go to college. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it's not really that many people doing that type of thing. It's not that many people who's on varsity doing good. It's not many people getting recruiting letters. Like
100%.
you think it is because you in a athletic circle, so it seems like everybody
From your
is.
perspective, yeah.
Yeah, but when we really look at it, bro, it's probably like 20% of high school kids, or less than 20, really.
Yeah.
Probably like 10%.
How many people from when we was in high school went to college and played?
Right.
Me, you, Jag.
From Southeast?
Just from our class in general.
Yeah, I think that's Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Man, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
That's really about it. Like,
We
like,
talk
I
about
can't-
from,
Look at his
from
hand.
three
You feel me?
from three different high
I mean,
schools, 4 different high schools.
From the city
Really-
schools, I
from the
think
city
that's really
schools.
about
Really
it.
think about it.
I think that's really it. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's and like everywhere you go, like you.
Everybody
can,
else was like Pleasant Plains or something.
Yeah, you can always look and be like, dang, I should, coulda, woulda, but it's not that many. When you really working, it's not that many people like that's really doing it like how you are when you put in that work.
Mm-hmm.
It all goes back to making sure you. Like when we're telling you, like, and we're giving you the knowledge of what it is, like Nick was saying, like seeing like what work it takes and actually putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like when you put in that work, you'll get to the level you want to, but don't be so focused on the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Just like kind of like wrapping everything together. Like don't be focused on the next thing. Focus on like, okay, I put this work in. I'm in this moment. Like, okay, I'm balling in this moment. I'm doing my thing in this moment. Whether I'm playing, whether I'm on the bench, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting the experience and
For
I'm
sure.
learning something. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
just make sure you're just in the moment.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why we put this together because we in the moment as trainers and conditioning coaches and everything, middle school coaches. Like we want to help the athletes get to where they want to get to. So wrap it up. Appreciate y'all.
Definitely.
Definitely will have to do this again.
Oh, yeah.
You
For
know. And yeah, I hope that whether you're a parent, player, coach, you're a D1, D2, D3, NAI, JUCO coach, whatever. You guys see this overseas coach, and you guys understand that the people that come from our training programs are ready, right? Obviously, we touch on a few things that we know they can do better, but obviously they're in the right place to get better. And and that's why we all convene with one another because we trust each other to help those athletes get there. So, man, appreciate y'all, and yeah, we're gonna do it again.
Appreciate it.
Sure. Appreciate your time.
Shout out to our camera lady.
Woot woot.
That's
Oh yeah, man.
we appreciate.